We are thrilled you've joined us. Here we are. We are live. It is Thursday, December 11th, 2025. And I would like to introduce you to Fitz from Blackstate, as well as the new beginning. Fitz, welcome to the Hip Spotlight.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. There's so much to talk about, but we might as well talk about where you are located today in this world currently torn asunder.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually in my studio. This is my place, my room, my it's the studio where most of the magic comes from, I guess. So it's a studio built a couple of years ago, and I do my music here. I do my designs, a lot of stuff that I'm working on. So yeah, it's actually my crib, my place. Sometimes in the evenings, it's the place where we hang out with my friends and some musicians friends as well. So yeah,
You are in the Balkans,
true.
better known to Americans and others in the human family as Eastern Europe.
Well, I think it's like more like southeastern, but yeah,
It
it's
is more so.
south.
Just to place Fitz, everybody watching this transmission, Greece is to the south,
Yeah,
and the west is Bulgaria. Uh,
yeah.
to the west is Algeria,
No, Albania.
Albania. I always get
Yeah.
too mixed up. And to the north, Kosovo, but that's part of a bigger country, correct?
It's a delicate question. It's actually yeah. I think it's Serbia and Kosovo, and yeah, on yeah, it's a tricky. It depends who you're asking, so I don't wanna. Yeah, yeah.
All right, so North Macedonia. Uh, you are making great music out of probably one of the least likely places that a musical creative can be based out of. Uh, Talk about your town and tell me if I'm pronouncing it right. Scope.
It's Skopje, almost.
Oh, yeah.
Skopje, yeah, Skopje.
It's probably a town not known for great music, but you've spent over 2 decades making it so.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, it's. I'm just reading the comments. The I don't know, the guy on the left. You're on the left. No, it's me. Never mind. Yeah, 2 decades of more than 2 decades actually now. Skopje is the capital of the country, North Macedonia. Used to be called Macedonia by a couple of years ago. There's a lot of music coming out from this small country. Actually, it's been. I mean, I'm involved in the music scene for maybe like 25 years now. So from the early 2000s, when I was in elementary and then high school, and then I formed a band, and then I started doing a lot of music, so different music projects. But overall, I think like this country has been independent since the 1990s, and even before that, like um, the language exists for 100 years, and there has been a lot of music coming out for such a small country. So there's all the genres coming out, but I don't think like too many there's not too many exported artists and bands because we don't have, it's a small country and a lot of things are still developing, I guess. So we don't have like an export music bureau like most EU countries have right now. So I don't think like many artists are touring and going across Europe, and especially like different parts of the world. Like there's so many of these, and I was lucky that with my band, like for um the last, yeah, it was in 2010s. So just to give you a little bit upfront like information, so the band, which is my main music endeavor, I would say, started in 2002, and we started doing the tours in 2010s across the Balkans and then all around Europe. So I wanted to say that there's just a couple of DIY hardcore punk bands and post punk bands maybe that toured across Europe. So it's not a lot, you know. And I'm talking about these DIY tours and this kind of stuff. I guess there are some bigger like mainstream artists that toured with, you know, some money from the government, but this is a much like rare occasion, I would say. So yeah, we were. I wanted to say that we're just one of the few bands that did this in the last 20 years. Maybe there's just three or five bands maximum that did this kind of tours. So it's a bit, you know, the country is not that known, the music is not that known, but yeah, I think somehow things are happening and people are doing what they love. So I'm happy that my band was part of this
And will
experience.
continue to be part of it.
Yeah.
You're not only a lead singer in a punk rock band, you're also the progenitor of Blackstate. And if you're a hip video promo follower, you know of Blackstate. It was the arsonist in 2022. We were introduced to Blackstate. And at this current moment, uh, probably my favorite video of 2025 because it speaks to the worldwide phenomenon that wasn't a phenomenon 10 years ago. Now, the entire 8 billion members of the human family, they're all connected to the internet. They all have a handheld electronic device in the palm of their hand. And with Black State, we will get to the new beginning later, Fitz. But with Black State, you have created a visual that I think the entire world can relate to. That video is called Follow Me, hashtag follow.
Hashtag follow me.
So, talk about Black State, talk about Follow Me, talk about how a guy who is literally carrying the torch for all things DIY, do it yourself. And there's no doubt that as the record label president at 69 Records, Fitz had mentioned there's maybe five bands that tour. You want to bet they're all on 69 Records, probably. But how is it that you can find the time to have a solo career with Black State as you prepare for a worldwide onslaught in 2026 with the new beginning?
Yeah, it's yeah. Yeah, it's actually like the English translation is the beginnings now. I mean, the literal translation is the new beginning of the name of the band, but like the rebranded English version will be the beginnings. So that's the name of the band if somebody wants to Google it. I think right now, because the original release was removed, and the remastered edition of the English record is coming out, there might not find too much stuff on the internet right now. But yeah, um, so you asked me first about Black State, so I will talk about that first, and then I'll go to the band, if that's
Okay,
okay.
perfect.
Um, yeah, so Black State is kind of like my personal audio visual, completely open concept. I would call it like a music project, but I will also call it like a video project because as a person, I'm doing a lot of stuff, a lot of, you know, I'm in the creative industry for more than 25 years as well. So um, it's kind of like my alter ego, and I'm channeling all of the different things I'm doing together with the message that I want to send out. So basically, Blackstate as a sound is like more like electronic pop, like alternative pop, so to say. And it's like, um, I think because I'm coming from the hardcore punk scene, and it was like a normal progression of where I am musically now, like, and I was at one point as well in the past. Um, the message is still what it used to be in the band, but the form is changed, so it's a different shape. And yeah, so I used to, like, this was like, started in the 2000s actually, but I never really got the time to release any music until 2020, when we were doing the previous years, a lot of touring with the band. And then I stopped at one point. The scene was not doing well in Europe for punk rock. I think it was before 2020, it was a little bit going down. So I thought, like, now is the moment to release some music with Blackstate finally. And so I picked the best year, 2020. It was the best year with which you can do music and, you know, put it out and then play it live. As you know, nothing happened in 2020 and a couple of years later. So basically, I just released one EP, a couple of singles, and I prepared like a live audio visual set, which is kind of like a live album, which I am practically playing it live, like 40 minutes of my music synchronized with the video, and this is and playing a music on top of the audio visual stuff. So this is Black State, and I debuted it in 2020, but then I didn't play it as much as I wanted to play in Europe. So then life happened, and I guess it's still not out as it should have been. So I'm doing like these singles, these videos now. So we'll see, how is it gonna end? Yeah, how is it gonna be in the next year? I have a lot of music, so maybe I will release some stuff like more like an EP or an album in 2026 7. So we'll see. Yeah, there's Black State shortly, and the single that we are promoting together is called "Follow Me." Hashtag Follow Me. Um, it's an old song like I did like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and then we did a video with my best friend. Like, we were writing the script for a long, long time, like in parts, and then we shot the video. Like, I think it was last year. Yeah, I'm already um losing the what was the timing, but it was a long work, and it's finally out, this video. It's a parody of the current online personas, performative people doing stuff on the internet. It's like, I think it's even becoming a bit like late on the idea, because it was like the concept for it was a couple of years ago and now it's released. But I think it's, on the other hand, it's still like everybody lives on the internet all the time and wants to be this online persona, and it's kind of like a parody for this sit- um s- what's the word, social situation of some kind, I guess. So yeah, it's kind of like a parody of the it's like a criticism of the world right now and where we are.
Boy, oh boy, are we in trouble. And I think one thing that can be said about Fitz is that he takes everything seriously in his songcraft, in his being the label head, being the poster kid for the DIY aesthetic. But with hashtag follow me, it's very clear he takes everything seriously except himself. It's just such a hilarious video because I think we all see this video and we are immediately reminded of people in our life journey whose only goal in life is more subscribers, more followers, more likes. Now, coming from a world where there was no such nonsense, um, you take the music to the people, and you're not selfish or narcissistic. My mom used to say as a kid, and I used to look at her like she was crazy. She used to say, "Give of yourself ungrudgingly. Don't even ask for anything in return. Maybe a little bit, but not much. It'll come back to you tenfold." Um, you've done that. You give of yourself ungrudgingly to all of these talented people. People are flocking towards you, and they have for 2 decades because they know that you're the mover and shaker that can help them. Fitz, you help them, and you just, you know, it's the punk rock aesthetic. It's not money. It's not anything other than fighting back against the system. And the music industry is all about the you've never been that way.
Well, no, and honestly, I will not. I will tell you openly. You know that I don't live from music, but I live for music. You know, and it's even tougher, and in everywhere in the world, I guess. But here is even tougher. You know, in small countries to even exist from something else and also do what you love, like music, all of your life. It's you know, I have to say it. It's like it. I want to be a professional musician, and we all hope for that, But in reality, for many musicians, it is a hobby, and doing things that you are not like you don't have like any kind of contract. You can do them whenever you want, however you want, in any way you want. For me, it's like maybe the best thing. It's probably a lot of soul fulfilling thing. Like because sometimes I think if this is your becomes your job, and I'm talking about major label stuff like this. um Eventually you might end up somewhere where you don't want to be. So maybe it's a blessing sometimes, I think. It would be great to live off of music, but with your own conditions and your own way of doing it. And yeah, I guess that's the best way. um I had something else in my mind, but I lost it, I guess.
Well, I'm going to conjure it up here. I have also been very blessed. Um, it's uh, really inspiring, Fitz, that you're able to make a living by helping others with their music, with their marketing, with their graphics, with their
Yeah.
album covers, with your sage wisdom and all the experience. And you tell the artists you really got to take it on the road, and they get all whipped up in it, and they're scared because talk about dressed in overalls and looks like work. Can you talk a little bit about how what a blessing that you get to help all these people, and you literally are the person out front saying, "Yes, I'm going to lead by example. I'm going to take the beginnings and I'm going to take it across Europe." And 2026, everybody, they're coming to North America. It's going to happen. I'm sticking that right now on December 11th, 2025. This new record, this upcoming record from the beginnings, is going to get that band here to North America. I can't wait to see y'all live. It's going to be freaking awesome.
Yeah, we hope to achieve this. I forgot the question actually.
No, it's just how you lead by example and
Mm, mm.
touring. I mean, if you live in New Jersey, you can go to Boston in 4 hours, Washington, D.C. in 3.5. If you want to go to Philly, it's an hour down the road. New York City is 45 minutes north.
Yeah, yeah.
Going to all these places that your punk rock band has gone to, it's a lot of work, a lot of travel, a lot of planning, and you get to these places and it's very clear the thing that fills your heart with joy are these people that you find in these towns and cities. Man, are they thrilled that you're there to rock their life.
Yeah, I mean, it's for me like the best experience is like writing art, music, art, any kind of art, and sharing it with people and having all this experience together is like probably the best thing, that keeps me going all the time. So at the end, it doesn't matter if we're not living out of it, me and my buddies here. Still, we'll see, but it's important that we have this in our lives, and it's fulfilling our souls. So it's, yeah, we want to do it. We never been to, I mean, I've been personally like to the US, but never been as a band, so we hope that the road takes us there after the 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 record, which is, by the way, we haven't shared any introduction to the audience, that this is practically a band that exists for 23 years now, since 2002.
Mhm.
And we had like 5 records, all in our native language, and we played under this name and the original name of the band, which is Noviot Pochatok. I know. And we've played with the Macedonian name and the Macedonian lyrics all over Europe. It was always the punk energy on these shows. So the new record is basically taken from the five, or actually, uh, doesn't matter. It's like 4 records before the fifth one came out. So it was like the best of songs out of these 4 records. The songs were rewritten in English, resung. So this was once released, but it was we removed it because it was not that. It was the bad timing. It was before the corona, and so now it's remastered, we produced everything, and we want to share it with the world. So that's coming in 2026. We really believe it's a good record because we had some success in the Balkans, we had some success in Europe. Um, I think the songs are, I believe in these songs, and I just my idea is that I really want to share them with the world as much as possible. So this is the idea of the record. We'll see if it ends, if it ends in people's collection, if it's just out on the internet. We don't know, but at the end, we will share it and we'll see what happens. Yeah.
Uh, like you, Fitz, my greatest joy in life is to help others and amplify their art. There you are in North Macedonia,
Mm,
and I know you get a big kick out of helping others and
yeah.
helping amplify their art. And here in North America, I'm telling you, Fitz, they have no idea what is coming because I'm very, very grateful that you've shared with me this new record. And it had to be hard. I know you love all your children equally. How do you, from 5 albums, whittle it down to one? But you have, and you've done it masterfully. And this is going to be a big event in 2026 because punk rock has spoken to hundreds of millions of music lovers, and
Mm,
we're all going back to the beginnings. Now for me at 64, it was the Velvet, it was MC5, it was the Stooges, it was the New York Dolls. And
yeah.
I'll never forget when my band played at CBGB's and I'm on that stage and I'm standing where all my heroes had stood, and we're on a bill with agnostic front, and of course we're musically not that similar, but just to feel that incredible energy, passion out of every orifice. And it was just by 1977, it became this movement that was now known worldwide with the Ramones and the Clash and the Buzzcocks. And to be able to grow up in that time period, I will always be grateful to the big guy that I was able to experience that. But for you, Fitz, it was more about a little old record label with three letters, SST. Talk about that.
Mm. You mean like 69 records or?
SST with all the great bands, Black Flag. I mean, talk
Oh
about
yeah, you're
those
talking
punk
about.
rock
Oh, okay,
bands that
okay.
spoke to you and your bandmates.
Well, I will honestly tell you, like, we were a lot influenced by the 90s punk rock and Fit Records and Epitaph, and a lot of like when the things exploded, like for this kind of generation, like in the after Nirvana practically, because I'm born 1987, right? And I was a young kid, when I was listening. I was a little kid when Nirvana exploded and all of these things happened. I was really young, and then that opened, as you know, that opened doors for a lot of punk rock music to go mainstream. The as you know the success with Smash, or with Offspring Smash and this kind of stuff opened doors for the mainstream, while you know the smaller labels that you already worked with, like Fitrek and all of this, they exploded with this indie music, like in the 90s and the 2000s. So we, with my band, we were a lot more influenced from that generation of bands, although many of them were started in the 80s. But to me, like, these labels were, I remember, like, in the early 2000s, I remember, like, I was checking their websites each week for new records, and this was how I heard new music. It was the only way to find new music, right? And then I guess then came we had like a lot of torrents here, pirated music also in the 2000s. um but right now it's completely changed. Like, as you know, being a record label, I always ask, what is a record label now? Like, really, is it just the digital distribution? Is it like taking care of the band strategy and logistics and all of this? But what else? Because
Mhm.
it's I mean, on one hand, people are buying records like never before right now in the past couple of years, I guess.
Mhm.
It's We have this revival. But if we look at the big picture, a lot of I mean, most of the music is on digital, right? And especially the young generation is all for this streaming platforms and so on. Never mind, but this is a different topic. Yeah, I was just discussing it because you mentioned the record label stuff. I
Mhm.
guess I'm still doing it, like, for local bands. We had some releases for bands from different parts of the world. I think between 30 and 40 releases by far, with 69 records, our small DIY record label. But no, it's really different from what we used to do before 2015, and that's now 10 years ago. So I don't know. um
It was easy because you'd have a van full of CDs,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and, and you'd sell them, and there were tangible products people could take home.
Yeah.
And now everything is different, Fitz.
Mm, it's a different timing, yeah, a different reality. And another thing, I wanna back off a little bit with you. You mentioned one thing, with everybody. I'm coming back to the "Follow Me" single of Blackstate and all of these things going on online right now. I think, like, for me and my band and my solo project now, it's all about playing live. Like, um, I'm this kind of, I'm 38 now. I'm still from this world. It's much more known to me. It seems that you have to be a musician today. You have to do a lot of things online, and I'm all about playing these live shows and all of these things.
Mhm,
So I hope to have more in the future.
mhm,
Much less stuff on the in the virtual reality, much more stuff in the real world. Yeah.
mhm. I will go back to 2003, 2004, 2005, all your favorite labels. We were working with Fat Wreck. No greater
Yeah.
night in my life than going to see Rise Against. We saw them at
Mm.
Hall. We saw them at Starland Ballroom. Just top level sonic vibrations that literally curled your toes and melted your face. And we need that all to come back. Everything old becomes new again. And my prediction, Fitz, is that 2026 is going to be the year where this all comes back. And you're going to be carrying the torch just like you are there in North Macedonia. Timing is right. And great music will always find an audience. And this new record is great music. Boy, we are excited as can be.
Yeah. I mean, it's ambitious what you said, but uh, we just hope to get, as much as the music out, as much as possible from the music out there, and playing some shows, some festivals would be nice. This is the we see it up to here, and we don't want to see any more from there on. So yeah.
Speaking of festivals, everyone's like, that festival Fitz puts on, man, it was kind of a small thing back when he first started it. Can you talk about the festival this year? It was an event of epic
Mhm.
proportions. It's got to feel good. From small acorns, big oak trees do grow. And it's a lot of work. Tell the folks watching this transmission that putting on these
Mm.
festivals, these things you do there, not a small undertaking.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I think like 1 hour is not enough for me because I do a lot of things, and it's. But no, I just want to say to the people that are listening and watching this that, yeah, there's like, this country is 2 million people, right? So uh, I'm doing this festival called Earthquake in Macedonian language, Zemiotres, and it's basically going on for 13 years up to now, and it's in the youth cultural center of the city, of the capital of the country, and it's the biggest indie music festival in the country as well. We have 2,500 visitors each year. This is the maximum capacity, I think, which is allowed practically. There's three stages, um, from alternative music, rock music, to electronic music, um, to something else as well. But mostly these are like uh, DIY releases or alternative music. And the festival has been going for 13 years now, and it's really a success. So this is also a part of who I am now. And it's going on every February, sometimes March each year. And yeah, it's a huge success, as I told you. So this is one thing, with my label and my crew. We used to do a lot of small shows, and like 13 years ago we started ambitiously this festival together with some other like small like DIY record labels from the country. So this is how we grouped together
Hmm.
and started doing this festival. So it's a great experience for everybody that's involved. All the new music coming out each year has been, there's between 50 and 100 music releases in this country. I'm talking about alternative music each year. So
Hmm.
we do a selection of all the new music, and we have to select 25 artists each year to fill the three stages. So this is how it works. Basically, it's a local music festival for the local alternative music, and it's going very well. So yeah.
Well, it's really inspiring. I will remind you, um, you have a lot more sand fits in the top of the hourglass than you do in the bottom. And as someone 30 years ago, very similar, I figured, hey, there's power in numbers. Let's
Mm,
bring everyone together. Let's work as a collective, as a team. And let's not be all about ourselves. Let's be about,
mm,
the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. And you are living proof of that.
mm. Thank you. I
You're
mean, this is yeah, this is like a showcase music festival for new music of the country, but it's basically showcase festival before the showcase festivals. I don't know. I don't. I'm not informed about the United States and showcase festival, but in Europe, there's like one for each country. They get a lot of funding from the European Union, and they do all the time. But this is like completely no sponsors, nothing. There's just it's a completely big DIY festival. So all the tickets money go to the artists. We just get some for the production costs, and that's it. It's a unbelievable thing to do, I guess. So yeah.
It comes down to one word and one word only. And it's a word that is eschewed throughout DIY punk rock circles, and that word is greed. Greed. 2003, my first South by Southwest. I'm not disparaging South by Southwest. What an event. What a feeling to be part of something like that. A warm and fuzzy. I came away out of Austin, Texas. I was high for weeks just from that vibration. And here we are 20 years later, corporate, top to bottom, fits, they ruined it.
It's the reality of which we live in. I mean, I guess, yeah. That's how the world works.
Mhm. All right.
But no, I mean, it has to be festivals and things like this, right? It has to be sparks of this good things.
Mhm.
Um, I don't have anything against commercial side of things, but some things are better left like they are. It doesn't have to be everything. In my opinion, it doesn't have to be everything pushed out to the maximum in terms of the commercial side. Some things are fine. And for this festival, we were offered like the beer, which is the official beer of the country. The biggest beer brand offered to give us money. We said no. uh, a couple of other even institutions we were discussing, they offered us. We said like this festival must stay as it is. Maybe for the other festival that we will do in the future we can talk, but this one will stay. So yeah, I mean, some things can be like can be left like they are.
Well, we applaud you for staying true to your inner core of not selling out. So many people in this business, they say they're not going to sell out, and then what do? They Yes. So kudos and bravo to you, Fitz. All right, it's plug time. Okay,
Yeah.
I should point out that when you're googling, it is Noviot. Pronounce that for us, Fitz.
Noviot.
Noviot. Okay.
Yeah.
Second word of the band's name, Pochetek.
Pochetok.
Ha! Hey, I was in a band called Spiral Jetty. I get it. You know, when you're putting
Yeah.
the name, you never think about, oh man, is this going to be a headache? Yeah, we'd show up at gigs and people were there to see Spyro Gyra. It was not good. But you know, a name is just a name. I mean, great music like what you're going to be sharing with the world next year with The Beginnings, and certainly the great music you're sharing with Blackstate. You know, that's what's great about music. It's evergreen, it will live in perpetuity. But for everyone out there, how can they find out more about your musical pursuits?
I guess they are separate entities online. Um, I guess m- maybe it would be the easiest if I share the record label's website. It's a very small website. We have the listed this couple of artists. It's 69records.org.
Mhm.
So you can see the name of the band there, the original name of the band. You can see Black State. You can see some other projects I did. Some releases we some music we put out there as a label. Um, and maybe also Google me and find out more. Yes, yeah. So
Thank you. Thank you for joining us today on the Hip Spotlight. This was really a great transmission. And what's beautiful is these transmissions, they'll live on YouTube
exactly,
for months, years to come.
years. Yeah.
And it's going to be really, really great to watch the view count really just escalate as we post this and people go to check it out. And with this new record coming in 2026 from the beginnings, and with all of the great success you've had so far with Blackstate, I mean, as the Carpenter sang in 1970, you've only just begun. And we're just grateful that you took time out today there to join us. Thank you, Fitz.
Thank you, Andy, for having me. It's always a pleasure to talk to you and your team, and keep doing what you do best. What was the slogan?
Uh,
Uh,
our slogan for 25 years has been keep fighting the
Keep
good.
fighting the good fight. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. My brain lagged for a second. Yeah. Thank you for.
Oh, you're welcome, man. And we'll be in touch a lot over the coming days and weeks. Enjoy the rest of your
Thank
holidays.
you.
And thank you again for being our guest on the Hip Spotlight YouTube live stream.
Thank you, and happy anniversary once again.
All
See
right.
you.
Thank you.
Ciao. Bye.